This is Andrew Stotts of A. Stotts Investment Research, and I want to present my latest academic-style research, which I call Clustering of Best and Worst Days. This follows on from some academic research I did on what I call the 10 best days, which showed that it is very painful to be out of the market in those 10 best days. In order to go through this, let's first revisit the academic-style research format that I'm using for this. The first is that we ask a research question, then we review what's out there as far as academic findings, then we look at and formulate a hypothesis that we want to test. We select the data set that we're going to test this on. Is it the US? Is it global? And then we also make sure that we've removed errors and extreme outliers that really wouldn't represent the overall data set. Then we would design our methodology to test the hypothesis. We would then look at our results from that. And most importantly is that we would think about the actions that we could take to become a better investor as a result of this research. So why would an investor miss the 10 best days? Well, we want to look at how likely it is that an investor would miss those 10 days. That was the question that we had in our mind, and in the past we said it would be very painful to miss the best 10 days. Somebody may say, well, why would I miss the 10 best days? Those are the days I want to be in the stock market. But the question that we asked is that when the market plunges on one day, it's not uncommon that you panic and try to sell. So the question that we want to ask is, does this bad day, is it then followed by a good day and then you end up missing it? So if we review the work that we've done, we've learned that missing the 10 best days can be extremely painful, causing you to lose at least 66% of your long-term gain, just 10 days out of more than 2,000 days. So we've learned from that research that you want to stay invested so you don't miss these 10 best days. Now, the hypothesis that we want to test is missing the best days is likely to occur as a consequence of panic selling. So let's look at our data set. We're going to look at the same data set which we used in our prior research where we looked at the 10 best days, and that's the last 10 years in the S&P market. And we are going to identify the 100 best and 100 worst days, and then we will use those to randomly select the best days when we did our testing. Now, the method that we're going to use in this case is simply a visual. We're going to plot the 100 best and the 100 worst days on a chart and then try to observe if there's clustering. Now, if there's clustering, what we're going to see is that a bad day is then followed by a good day. And so the chart will show that the points will be clustered around each other, both good and bad. So if we don't see clustering, what we would mean is that there's just a randomness to it. Good days don't always follow or precede bad days. And here's what we find in the research. Basically what we find is that if we take the 100 best and worst days, best being the blue and worst being the red, we can see that there's a lot of clustering. In fact, there's only a small number of cases where there really is a movement up or down in isolation. So what can we learn from this? What we can learn is that the 10 best days tend to cluster around the worst days. We can also learn that panic selling on these worst days, therefore, could result in missing the best days. So unless you're a market timing wizard, you're going to benefit from a long-term buy and hold strategy. So I hope that you've enjoyed it and we can use this to become a better investor now. We can put this into action. Join us in our journey to become a better investor. Get new research first that we're doing. Get access to additional research and articles that we're working on. Get free membership and a newsletter. So go to babinow.com/join and we will see you there.